Okay. Well, good morning. Today, our sermon is entitled Dreamality. Dreamality is a term me and my wife coined recently. It's making our dreams into reality. And I want to encourage each one of us to think about our dreams this morning. To think about where we want to go, where we want to be, who we want to be, and how we're shaping ourselves into those individuals. So this morning we're talking about dreams a little bit. Dreams are really, it's an aspiration, it's an idea, it's a vision of who or what we could become if we just put ourselves out there. Dreams are normally something that are very far from who we are right now, who we currently are, and where we currently are. And it's something too big for us to even imagine. You know, recently I was talking with my brother, and he said he was talking in New York with some people, and someone said to him, he said, you know, Chicago already has a church. Why do they need a second church? And my brother said, there's 7 million people in the Chicagoland area. Is one church really enough? And so it's really a matter of us thinking about where we want to be versus where we currently are, and how we want to extend God's blessings. And so to think about the scope of this world, to think about the scope of the need of the blessing of God reaching out to other people, we have to really expand our mind, expand our visions. And that's where dreams are really helpful, because dreams allow us to separate from any real circumstances. I love my dreams. I don't know, do you guys have dreams a lot at night? Sometimes I have some crazy dreams. I always wish I had Lena's dreams. Lena always has these really adventurous dreams. She gets scared by them, but I thought, oh, that sounds so cool. She's like, oh, I was being chased by the mafia or something crazy. And I always wish I had those kinds of dreams, but mine are a little more subtle. Actually, the other day I had a dream, and it was really interesting. It started off, my father-in-law, Reiner Vincent's, was sitting, he's right now being taken care of at a nursing home near our home. So we see him all the time, but it was interesting because in the dream, he met one of the other residents there. And the guy had come from France. And he said, oh, I remember you, Reiner. I met you way back in the 60s, and you taught me something, and now I'm ready to join. And I thought, wow, that's so cool. And later in that dream, we were sitting at a big picnic table. And there was all these people, and we were just kind of talking and having fun. And someone suddenly turned and said, you know what, I just realized. We're not just a bunch of friends, we're a church now. And these were all new people I've never met before. And I thought, wow, you know, this is what I really see our church be kind of, is groups of people we've never even met before connecting to God through each one of us. So our dreams are so important in our lives, and to help us escape from where we are and bring us to where we want to be. I watched a movie this Friday night. It was a pretty interesting movie. I Bought the Zoo, I think it was called. Anybody seen that? We Bought a Zoo? Sorry. We Bought a Zoo. It was really a cool movie, and it's where there's his dad, and actually his wife passes away, and he's trying to restart his life, him and his 2 kids, and trying to find some purpose for their life. And he looks at all these homes, and finally they come to the last listing, and the real estate agent says, you don't want this house. And so he goes, he checks it out, and he says, I'm sold, I want this house. And he says, you don't understand, you really don't want this house. And suddenly you hear a lion roaring. And he says, there's actually a zoo attached to this house, and you have to buy the whole zoo. So he goes along with this, and it's so amazing watching this, how as he begins this dream, as he begins this adventure. This guy that has nothing to know, you know, doesn't know anything about a zoo, doesn't know anything about animals, puts all of his money into this, quits his job. His boss is nice. His boss even tries to give him a severance. But he says, I don't want that. I want to go out on my own. And so he goes out, he buys this farm, and he starts working it. But it's just really amazing. I'm not going to give it all away, but as he pursues his adventure, his dream, and as they try to save these animals, because they realize quickly that's what it comes down to. It's not just about their dream, it's these animals will be put down without them. There's no purpose for these animals without them. And so they're there to save these animals. And they pursue this adventure. And the whole time they see it like this. And it's really an amazing story. And I just was so inspired watching this guy pursuing a dream that he never even knew he had. That someone else put in his heart. And to see just the blossom of love in his heart grow and how he was able to reach people in ways that he never could imagine. So today we're just looking at these dreams, looking at what our dreams can be. And I was looking a lot this week at something. I was trying to understand the purpose of the Unification Church. Why was it established? What does our true Father, what does Reverend Moon have to say about it? You know, if you want to understand the purpose of something, you have to go back to the Creator, right? We talk about that when we look at the creation of the world. And so I decided, I shouldn't lean on my own understanding, but I should look at the inventor, the Creator, and what he says, what his vision was for this community, for this group, for this church. And so I was looking a lot at it, and I read this whole speech all on the dreams of the Unification Church. So I was really inspired. Let's look at our dreams. Let's go back and think about our dreams today. So a lot of the things I'm going to reference today just come I'm just paraphrasing from a guy that knows a little more than me. And so what he was talking about in the beginning, we look at what is the purpose of our dream. What's the purpose of your dream? Sometimes we look at people and we say, oh, he's just a dreamer. He's up in La La Land, Oh, he's not set in the real world. But actually there's a deep purpose for our dreams. Our dreams are something that God implants into our hearts. God says, this is who I see you as being. I see you as being, a mature, a perfected individual. I see you being a happy man, a happy woman that's able to love unconditionally. I see you as being in a marriage that brings joy to you and joy to others. I see you making children that are so beautiful and wonderful. And without these dreams, often we get stuck and we accept where we are, right? Sometimes we give up on our dreams and we leave ourselves where we are instead of where God is trying to call us to be. And so that's why it's so important to keep our dreams alive, to think about what the purpose of our dream is. Our dream is there to motivate us to become everything that we ought to be, everything that God called us to be. And so each one of us has a dream in our hearts. And, as we're young, it's very natural to dream a lot, right? Actually, Father says the youth are really the time of the dreams, right? In the Bible, it says the young people will dream dreams and have visions, right? Because they have to see what the world is going to become. They have to have a vision of who they could become. So as you're young, you have no idea, no limitations. You don't know how far money actually goes. So you can dream that you're going to be a millionaire, right? You can dream that the world is going to be perfect in 7 years, right? Dreams are made for these people that have no idea of what really is out there. And God uses that energy and does things that shouldn't be possible. Does things that should not ordinarily happen, right? When God put this dream into the hearts of young people across America in the early 1970s to build this movement that's international, when we couldn't even get our African American and Caucasians to get along, right? God put this dream inside the hearts of these young people to say, hey, we'll go even farther than that. We're going to go marry people from Japan who we just fought 15 years ago, 20 years ago. We're going to go marry, all of our enemies. We're going to bring together all these different people. And while people are stuck saying, we can't even bring together a school, right? We can't even desegregate one school. God put this dream in people's hearts that said, we're going to unite the whole darn world. And so we were able to get beyond reality and go for something bigger. And I think we've come pretty far in that dream. If you look around, This is such a mixed up group of people, right? So amazing that God brought all these different people together. And so it's that power of the dream, and that's that passion of the youth that starts these visions to come into reality. So when I was looking at the dream of the Unification Church, though, it talked about the restoration of this world. You know, even in this song we were singing, it's talking about the tree of life. We're all trying to obtain the tree of life, to become these mature individuals that are able to love beyond nationalities, beyond boundaries, beyond races, beyond religions, to lift up people beyond that realm. And so, you know, we're inspired with this dream to bring restoration, to bring true healing to this world. You know, not just, you know, we don't have this idea just of we're going to be forgiven and continue being a sinful person, but God loves us enough anyways. But we have this dream in our hearts that we can get beyond that character. We can get beyond that torment of doubt, that torment of being pulled in two directions all the time. That God believes that we can free ourselves from contradiction and live a pure life. And so that's what we're trying to do. And you know, the vision of the Unification Church is that we create this restoration. And beyond that, to extend this love to all the corners of the earth. To continue to do that. You know, our dream was really big. And then we started to slow down, honestly. But now, with our true mother, with Hakjahan Moon leading the way, guiding us to dream dreams again, to go back to our youthful spirit, to go and pioneer all the ends of the earth. We're starting to dream dreams again. We're starting to go out and try things that we haven't done in a long time. And it's really an exciting time. And I believe as a community, as a body, we're here to really nourish and nurture and support the dreamers of this community. I'm sure there's many great dreamers out there. Actually, after we shared our vision a few weeks ago about pioneering new communities, I talked to a young person, a high school student, who said, after I'm done doing my service work, I'm going to come back and I'm going to go pioneer my own community. And I thought, wow, you know, people are dreaming dreams, you know, thinking about how God can use them in new and amazing ways. And that was really exciting to me, to see that people are excited to follow a passion, to follow a dream again. I was watching another movie recently. I've actually watched movies recently. It was really cool. What was that for? That was for your birthday? Someone's birthday? No. I have no idea. There was some special reason we went out for a movie. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. Father's Day. Oh, so my wife said I could go watch a movie, and I said, okay, it's not going to be a rom-com tonight, because normally that's what we get to watch when we compromise. I always compromise to my wife's side. It makes a happy marriage, actually. So, but she let me go watch Superman. We watched Man of Steel, right? That was really it was an amazing movie. It was really great. And one of the things in there, his father, his adopted father, Kevin Costner, says to him, he says, you know, you have such a great potential. Because if you can live in this world and be proud of who you are, you know, Superman can like jump tall buildings and run faster than a speeding bullet. He's really amazing, right? He said, if you can showcase that to the world, you know, you'll become the dream of every person. And you're going to encourage people to pursue something greater than they'll ever be. But as they try to be that person, as they try and be so amazing, and as they stumble and fall, they'll find they're better than they were before. And so this was actually, is really, the movie is like very closely, it's just a metaphor for Jesus the whole time. And you see it very clearly, actually. They didn't really hide it so well. But really what they're saying is this perfected man, this amazing person. You know, we dream and say, hey, I'm going to be perfect. And we push and we fight and we live and we die for this. And honestly, we might not get there. But as we stumble, as we push, as we crawl along that and try to become a better person, and we try and become that perfect person, we might not become Superman. But we're going to become a heck of a lot better than we are today. And so this is the power of the dreams. This is the power of what we can become. And, my dream is really, when I was thinking about my dream, what is my dream? My dream is I want to see people experiencing the relationship I have with God. Now, I was touched, 8 years ago with this deep experience with God. And it forever changed my life. And I've had my ups and downs. I've had my days of doubt. I've had my struggles. But I in that moment, I was raised to an elevation I've never been at before, and I'll probably never be again. But I thought, if I can give that taste to one other person, what a blessed life I would live. And so my dream is really to see other people experiencing that. Honestly, I see Chicago having churches all over, where neighborhoods come together with the belief of being one family under God and having a universal worship center in their neighborhood, that they can come together, that they can experience the true love of God, that they can be raised out of guilt and out of pain and suffering, and that they can live the true life that I've been blessed to live, because someone reached out to me. And I was given this opportunity. And I see this all over our communities. I really hope that this dream can be passed on to other people. One of the dreams that Father had is that each one of us takes on a part of His Spirit. Mother keeps talking about this, keeps sharing it with our leadership. She keeps saying, I hope that people can recognize that Father planted a seed of His self inside each one of us. That each one of us has this dream ready to bear fruit. If we can just believe in it, if we can just pursue it. And each one of you has a special character and a special talent that you can offer in this community, that you can offer in your neighborhood, that can reach new people. I hope each one of you can consider, what are you doing to expand God's kingdom here? Can I help in some small way maybe? Can I help set up church so that there's a nice environment? Can I help teaching with Joe? Can I go down and lecture? Can I learn how to serve coffee, or just to do something to create a nice environment, the soil for people to grow in God's love? What can I do? I also want you to consider, how you're contributing financially to this church. Because there's this big dream that's trying to become a reality. And each one of us needs to offer ourselves, whatever we can. Just consider, can I offer a little bit more? Actually, we've got this amazing council that's been set up recently. And they're looking at our budgets. They're clearing out a lot of stuff. Just because they're taking the time. They're really smart people. Actually, I'm always amazed. I sit in this room and surrounded by smart people. And they're really coming up with great ideas, and they want to meet with everyone soon. They just wanted to get some background first. But I feel like they really want to, make a system that you can see where your money's going, and you can help to make this church really a great vessel for God. But I want to ask you to have faith in that, and to trust in that, and give something yourself. And to consider, maybe you've been holding back recently, your financial contributions. But, I'm no longer going to be the pastor here, so I feel like I can say this. Give your tithe, Give what you can. It's not for me, it's to see God's kingdom expanded. It's not to pay someone's salary, it's to see new events happening, that people can connect with God and true parents. It's not buying someone a car or doing something fancy. It's printing programs and creating an environment that people can experience the true love of God. And I want you to really consider what you've been doing. And if it is possible, even to give $10 more in a month. To think about that, consider that. And consider what you can do for this community. This is your community. This is your people. This is your brothers and sisters. The people that are going to be joining, that's your new brothers and sisters, your spiritual children. make it a great place for them. Dream a dream of what this place could look like. Maybe you want to own a new facility out in the suburbs. Think about what you can offer to make that dream a reality. So I just wanted to encourage you on that, but I want to go back to the vision of the Unification Church. Actually, I have a little bit more than what's written on that screen here. The dream of the Unification Church. Make no mistake about it, just as people prepare for a big wedding, bringing gifts when they come to the wedding, we must have something to bring with us when we go to the spirit world. What must we bring with us? It is to live here on earth, reaching out to those within the satanic lineage, grafting them into our own lineage, which is that of God, and bring as many of them as possible. That is our purpose. It is our dream, our goal, that we graft into as many people as we possibly can within the satanic world. That is why we send out missionaries to different countries and different localities and graft them and bring them as part of our clan back to the spirit world. That is our purpose in life here, the tribe. To expand our lineage on earth is our purpose of life here in the Unification Church. I know you all know that, but I just wanted to give this reminder. Very clear what Father said. Many times we argue in our communities, we look, what is the most important program or project or event? But really the most important thing is what Father says right here. All of our efforts, all of our projects, all of our programs, our heart, everything we do should be for this purpose. How do we give people this offering of new life? This opportunity to connect with the true parents, with the second coming of Jesus Christ, with the Messiah that came to save this world. How do we connect them to that? How do we give them that opportunity that we've been so blessed to have? How do we give them that chance? Maybe they'll say no. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to give them the chance. What did Jesus do? He sent his followers often 2 by 2, And he said, your job is to proclaim the word. And if they say no, you don't need to argue. Dust off your sandals and walk on. Go to the next person. Our responsibility is to share this opportunity, to give them at least a chance to say yes, and to experience the new life that each one of us has experienced. So brothers and sisters, as we go on and as we start our new journey, we want to encourage you to also think about your journey, where your journey is heading, how we can honor our true parents' legacy. Coming up soon, we're going to be honoring the 1-year anniversary of the ascension of Reverend Moon. So it's a time for us to think about what was the legacy he left for us. What was the kind of lifestyle he wanted us to live? What was the dream that was always in his heart? How can we honor him? We can honor him by making that dream a reality, by doing our best to offer that new life to other people. So in the next couple weeks, I'd strongly encourage us to think about that, how we can honor our true parents, to send out missionaries, like it says here, in all countries, all localities, every town, every city, every neighborhood should be able to connect to our true parents, should have that opportunity at least. Our tribe, expanding our influence should be our utmost priority. How do we connect people to the life-changing force that comes through our true parents, that comes through engrafting onto the tree of life, that all people had tried to attain for so many centuries, for so many thousands of years, and now is freely available if we make that opportunity available, right? So let's go out into this world. Let's think about what we can do, what we can offer. And as I conclude here, I want us to think about one last thing. I just wanted to offer one last thing. I wanted to offer our goodbye. Anyways, This is a transition time. Of course, we're nearby, but I wanted to say goodbye because I was looking at where goodbye comes from, and I just wanted to share this little story with you. I was looking at where goodbye comes from, and goodbye is kind of interesting because did the video start? Oh, sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen. I thought I was going to a blank screen. Yeah, goodbye was interesting. In the 1500s, someone was writing, "God be with you." God be with you. And they were writing, "God be with you" many times. And then someone decided to put it in shorthand. And when they put it in shorthand, they put God, B-W-Y-E. And somewhere down the line, they dropped out the W. And they started just saying goodbye. So goodbye is really a well wish to other people. Just say, "God be with you." That let God encourage you. Let God guide you. Let God show you your way. You know, although I won't be right next to you, God will be with you. So with this, I wanted to just say goodbye in this sense. Not goodbye as a departure, but goodbye as God be with you. So I wanted to show something, and my wife's going to be coming up. We can hit the lights here. We just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for joining us on this journey. The last year and a half, we moved for a first step. It's just a stepping stone, but moving out to the suburbs, to where our families are, to think about how we can reach people in new and exciting ways. And the really awesome thing is this has given an opportunity for so many people to volunteer, to give each week, to give back to God. And we've had amazing volunteers come out of this, and I just wanted to appreciate so many different people. I wanted to appreciate everyone here for following these kids out into their dream. You know, coming out to a movie theater. Who would have thought a church in a movie theater? But it's really been an adventure. It's been different. It's not our final step, but it's been an adventure. And we've been excited to share it with you. To have the kids, you know, enjoying different Sunday school avenue and the nursery being established and great coffee. We never had such good coffee in our life, thanks to Sarah and Santa. You know, we've had this great music set up here and being able to offer in such a beautiful way. We've had, you know, so many people connecting in the fellowship after service. And we're just really grateful that everyone could be up here. And I'm glad we got the nursery because when we started, that same year we had 9 babies. You know, what would we have done without a nursery? So it's really been exciting, and we wanted to thank everyone. And I wanted to invite Pastor Lena to also come up here. We just want to say thanks. So this is our story, our experience. Thank you for joining us with it.
Mrs. Rendell's really been doing a great job with Sunday school. There's a really great new curriculum, if you don't know, and our fellowship. And yeah, we just really wanted to thank everyone. We didn't put all the photos of everything happening in our church the last year and a half. There's so many different aspects, but we really wanted to thank and honor today, especially the Sunday worship team, and also all of you for going on this unique journey, like Pastor Jario shared, of the movie theater. I would have never thought I would go to church in a theater, you know, it's been almost a year now, so there might be some changes coming. I know the new pastors, all of you, the council will be looking at location, but we just want to thank you, and yeah, I think it's been a great stepping stone for the community to try something new, to be more in the suburbs, and yeah, just my final words, thank you. Try not to cry. Yeah, I moved here in 1995 and I've been attending this church community since I was 8. we lived in Germany, and I remember my parents telling me, "Oh, we're going to America." I was like, "Oh, America!" And yeah, it's been a great journey. You know, just like many of you who've grown up here in this church community, and just being. I'm so grateful to have grown up, you know, with these values. Although many times I envy people like the members who chose to join this church. I envy them because they had some kind of like conversion experience, you know, or they had some doubt or search in their life, and then they're like, wow, this makes sense, you know. But at the same time, I think anyone born into this faith has gone on their own journey and really questioned and tried to challenge their faith and make it their own, right? And so I'm grateful at the same time to have grown up in this with all these values, because I know I would not be who I am today if I didn't have this, you know, this community, these teachings from Father Moon and a relationship with God. So anyways, we'll still be down the street and, you know, sharing what we're doing and looking forward to hearing what this community is going to do. I'm sure many great things, and I encourage you. I guess my life motto is always, you know, the greatest commandment in the Bible, to love God and love others. So that's really just my encouragement to you. Work on constantly that relationship with God, you know, our parent who loves you, and trying not to cry. And each other, you know, as like the community, our brothers and sisters, but also in our own families, really striving for that ideal, right? Even though it's not always easy, taking that time, challenging ourselves, and having that talk we've been avoiding, or, you know, just building our relationships, trying to bring joy to God and to each other, and then sharing that with others. So, yeah, we just thank you so much, and look forward to see both churches and maybe future churches expanding and growing. And that's our thank you.
And so we just want to thank everyone that worked so hard over the last year and a half with us, or 6 years. I've been volunteering here for 6 years, but the last year and a half where we were pastors here, and you know, got thrown into this big old role, and we were able to grow so much here. And I really feel like Chicago kind of is that nurturing ground that a lot of great, you know, leaders have been sent out of here, right? You know, we've got Reverend Jenkins, we've got Bishop Kim, you know, Reverend Rendell's out in headquarters. You know, all these different people, you know, came here. I don't know all the people, sorry, I've only been here for 6 years, but you know, all these people have come here, have been raised up, you know, have gone through their own struggles and tried to figure out how God was going to use them. And then we're sent off to do great things. And I see that Chicago is really this launch pad to be like this textbook of love that raises people. I hope that we can see other young people, you know, being raised up here to go out and follow their dreams. You know, whatever that is, you know, whether they're writing music scores for the movies, or, you know, I don't know what, you know, directing a movie. We've got people looking at that, and, you know, whatever you're going to do, art, but just inspire these young people. They're so great. I had such an honor to work with them for so many years doing youth ministry, and I've seen great things, and just encourage them, and they're going to follow their dreams. Maybe they're going to start churches, but maybe they're going to do something else and reach God in different ways, and just continue to be this breeding ground, if you will, you know, for new leaders, for new people to rise up. And we just thank you so much for bearing with us over these years, and encouraging us, and correcting us sometimes, you know, for shaping us into the people we are today, that we're ready to take on a new calling from God. And we thank you. There's too many people to thank, so we're just thanking in general. But everybody here really has made a deep impact into our lives, has really invested so much, and really transformed us, you know, from being 20 and 21-year-old married couple, you know, just trying to figure out our life, and trying to have fun, and trying to figure out everything, and, you know, and then being entrusted with this great responsibility. It's been incredible, and I just see God working in great ways, and I see God blessing this community. And I'm really going to keep praying, for great things to happen. I'm so excited about what the council is doing, our ministry team that's been so consistent. As Reverend Nakami was worried, he said, well, what about setting up Sunday service each week? I said, the volunteers here are so good that we don't even have to worry anymore. It used to be this huge ordeal each week, hoping that church would work okay. It used to be so much stress, but the volunteers, everybody that's contributed has done so much, and we're so grateful to all of you, and we pray God's blessing on you. We also wanted to, though, acknowledge the missionary families. What we're doing is really, we're trying to pioneer something new, so there's missionaries going with us. It's not just a free-for-all, if you will. We definitely want everyone to visit, and we're going to be visiting here sometimes too. But there's pioneers, there's some missionary families that want to come with us, that are offering themselves, and they don't know what they're getting into. I think we faked them out on that. They think it's going to be a joyride, but it's really going to be suffering. But they've already committed. So I just wanted to recognize, not all of them are here. Some of them, actually most of them are at GPA graduation, I think. But the Swenson family are going to come with us. The Syme family, the Adas, Sarah and Jason, who will keep doing music here for the next 2.5 months. And you're going to get Tanamichi, who's also a Berkeley grad, who's really awesome. He's going to continue your music. And the Barber family. And so those are going to be our pioneer families. Of course, all of you, we ask for your prayers. You can support us so much. You can come visit and check it out. We don't have a church yet, of course. But in 2.5 months, we hope to have something to bring people to. And those are going to be the families. So please pray for those families. They don't know, really, I don't think they know how much they're going to be giving up, not having the stability of this community. But I know God's also going to work in that community and build something for them. But please support them and pray for them. And we're going to pray for you. And that's all Lena wanted to say.
Thank you, everyone.
So many of you may be worried, oh, well, who's going to lead the church? Anyways, we talked with Reverend Nakami, and he really wants to support the growth of this church. We're still working on clear job descriptions for new pastors and how the church structure is going to work in the future. And we really are going to be developing that. We're going to want community involvement in that. So we felt maybe it's too rushed to just ask someone to step out. But Reverend Nakami is going to take on that role, and he's worked with us so closely. Of course, he's been our district pastor, and he still is our district pastor. But he's going to put extra focus here. We've been meeting with him a lot recently, trying to pass on everything we do. And I just want you all to really acknowledge and recognize his great heart, his deep heart for all of you. And let's welcome our Reverend Nakami.
Thank you, Pastor Jario, Pastor Ian. Wow, mixed feeling I have. Of course, this is goodbye. Yeah. So Pastor Jario spoke today, dreamarity. But I remember that several years ago, when the former president of the U.S. visited us, we have a meeting at the Eaglewood. And one night, she asked each second generation children to say, what's your dream? And many, hundreds BCs explain about their dreams. But I remember Pastor Jario was the only one who said, I want to become Unification Church minister. He's the only one. Actually, that's already fulfilled. That dream was fulfilled. And I still remember when I first met Pastor Jario in the Ashram Church, sitting next to a newly matched bride. Pastor Lina, and I remember his smile. I thought it was a big smile, and I thought he might be very shy, but actually not. I really appreciate, Pastor Jario and Pastor Lina, can associate and fellowship with all kinds of ages, all kinds of ages, and all kinds of people. And I know, how hard course they have been go through. And I really appreciate step by step, build a foundation, then become a pastor. And even I'm so grateful when I became a district pastor, and just the Reverend Randall was left. Basically, I feel left behind. But I was so lucky, together with other people, Pastor Jario especially, and helped me a lot. And then he became a pastor of church, together with Pastor Lina. Then usually the pastor's couple is very difficult. Relationship become sometimes challenged because of the position, mainly because of lack of communication. But I really do appreciate their relationship. When I say one of them something, already in an hour later knew the other one. I was so amazed by that. That's why, it was solid and stable. That's why I believe that the great victory comes to our new church. So we have 7 million people. So let's fuel the church and let's grow the church. So I really appreciate their departure. I'm always excited myself about that. Okay, I'd like to just show our heart. Can we do that?
Oh, yeah.
And first of all, I'd like to invite up the chairperson of the local council of Chicago, Mrs. Figueroa, to give this certificate of appreciation. And followed by flower presentation. Okay, let's give a flower presentation first. The Canaan and also and his wife is presenting the flower. So.
Representing your local council, they elected me chairperson, and I'd like to read this plaque that Reverend Takami prepared for our outgoing pastors. A certificate of appreciation presented on June 30th, 2013. Pastors Jario and Lena Vincennes Gavin, November 2011 through June 2013. In grateful appreciation for your dedication and leadership as pastors helping our Chicago church, community to grow and inherit the true love of God. Your church here in Chicago.